And we are back just from having a look at the daily commodities. Now we come back to Kenya Airways, just giving you a profile of what's been happening there over the last 3 years. Maybe our graphics team will help us. We can just go over the history of this company. So you can actually see there a bit of very good information and data that's coming out there with regards to passengers from 2010 to 2017. As at the close of the last financial year, the full year, there was about 4.5 million passengers that went through Kenya Airways for that particular period. Some good growth that's coming up there. And it's very interesting for us when we actually come to the financials just to look and see, does this actually translate to revenue growth, or are they actually discounting to be able to carry additional customers at a cost to themselves? Moving on to the next slide. Cargo. Remember, cargo was the biggest thing the last time that they came into the market to actually look for fundraising. And they were trying to buy new Boeing planes with the underbelly. The underbelly was largely supposed to be able to ferry cargo as Kenya was opening up its borders. What has this done? Cargo has actually peaked in 2013 to 871,000 tons. Sorry, it peaked actually in 2015 to 73,693 tons, and that was a peak in 2015. There's actually been a slowdown in 2016 and in 2017, and certainly something that's actually going to be reflected in the top line. Moving on to the next slide. Employee numbers, this is a good sign. So today we have about 3,000 employees from a high of 4,834 employees in 2012. But of course, once it becomes a nationalized company, there's always the fear that maybe some of the cronies of the people who will be making decisions could actually be employed in this company. So certainly a risk factor is there, because today you're at 3,000. This could double or maybe grow by about 50%. Who knows how that number will look like in the next 2 to 3 years. But certainly for now, the improvement is remarkable and it's quite evident there. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, so half-year numbers were out yesterday, but today we are focusing on the full-year financials for the last 3 years. So you can see there in 2018, revenue was about 107 billion. It's really been more or less flat. In 2016, it was 106. 2017, it was 100 billion. Then you can see the total income line has also been pretty much flat, 117 in the last full financial year that was reported. And then the restructuring costs, or the operating profit. All right. So the operating profit was a loss in 2016 of 4.5 billion. It turned into profit in 2017, 1 billion. In the last full financial year, it was also close to a billion shillings. Again, we are not focusing on the half year. We're looking at the full financial years and what has happened. Moving on to the next slide. Maybe our graphics team can help us move to the next slide. Thank you. Then this is a continuation of the statement of income, a loss-making company. And you can see the profit for the year, the bottom line there, 2016, 26 billion. That almost somewhat halved in 2017, 10 billion. 2018, that figure was 7.8 billion. These losses are coming down and are largely related to finance costs, which were 7 billion in 2016, 7.4 billion in 2017, and 5 billion in 2018. Again, these are the full year numbers that we are looking at. Let's look at the next set of statements. Okay, maybe we can move to the balance sheet. I think we can bring up the next page, please. Okay, so we have the cash flows from the operations of this company. From the purchase of property and plant, really nothing there. The cash flow is actually coming from disposal of property, plant and equipment, and this is largely their fleet. So they earned about 7.4 billion in 2016, 5.7 billion in 2017, and really nothing much in 2018. That's about 673 million that they earned there. Then the bulk of the money that has come in from investing activities, that was 5.9 billion in 2016. And 1.1 billion in 2018. I think we have one more set of numbers that we would like to show you this afternoon. I don't know if our graphics team has any. Okay. There we have it. So the bulk of the cash flow is actually getting into financing activities. So you have 10 billion that was used in financing activities in 2016. That came down to about 2 billion in 2017 and rose back up to 7.3 billion as the company was paying off its financiers. And in this period, there was the element of the banks that had extended debt being converted to shareholders. And now that they've been converted to shareholders, now the current conversation is how do you nationalize this and actually buy them off at whatever amount is agreed upon. It's still, the jury is still out there, and the chairman of this company, Mr. Michael Joseph, yesterday during the financial said he would prefer if the company was not nationalized. However, because it is an asset that is overseen by the government and parliament in particular, if they do decide to nationalize it, then that's okay. But he does feel that they were on a path to recovery. The jury is still out on when the nationalization happens and the module that it will actually take, or rather the framework that that will take. But for now, there you have it, the cash flow statement as well as the income statement for this company for the last 3 years. We take a quick break once again, and remember, don't go anywhere. We want to look at the banks and understand what are the key trends that are coming out from the banking sector. Should you be buying or should you not be buying into this financials? See you shortly.